Everything is good. We're in the middle of a rainstorm out here in northern Arizona in the mountains in the Mojave Desert, which is where we're located. It's tends to be a pretty dramatic experience. Just want a shout out to Brian Best with spiritualbeancoffee.com. This is Skywalker. I'm drinking Skywalker tonight, which is a big treat. One of my favorite blends of his. All organic, roasted in small batches by Brian the Man. And you can check out his coffee shop if you happen to have the good fortune to be in Prescott, Arizona. All right. There's a lot to say tonight. And I'm not going to be, although it's very, I put out a video today about there's a war for your DNA, about discussing some things about the creepy way that the forces that have been running the planet steal our DNA and use us to create their master geneticists. But I'm not going into that tonight because the feeling that I'm having is, yeah, okay, is that the economy is collapsing. What I want to emphasize tonight, it's collapsing and it will be reborn in the same time. If you listen to our crypto show, it was last night. Yeah, last night, Monty was went through the whole history of the termination of reserve currencies in different countries and what that looks like. It's not pretty. However, and here's the key point that I want to emphasize tonight for those who are awake and listening and comprehend some of what I'm talking about, which is most of you, if not all of you. So, I'm a prepper. I've been a prepper for, I figured like 40 years. 40 years I always, as soon as I moved to a new place, as soon as I start a new relationship or end an old relationship, the first thing I do is go out and buy a bunch of cans of sardine. This is just, also I was raised by people from my father was born in 1920, my mother was born in 1930. And if you ever had the good fortune to be around people of that generation, you cannot escape the thought about the Great Depression and food. So I have never in my life, I'm 71 years old, that I can recall, maybe there were a handful of times, but I have never been able to not eat everything on my plate. That was the training I got as a younger man, younger as a child. You don't. I mean, we used to have like fights at the dinner table because kids don't like to eat. I mean, my mother said I basically ate air for like 15 years, until I became, I guess, a teenager. But since then, I was so indoctrinated into worrying about the Great Depression that I've been unable to. I see people like leave food on their plate. I'm like, what's wrong with them? What happened? Where did we go wrong? So the prepping aspect is not necessarily because I think the world is going to go to hell in a handbasket. It's kind of an ingrained thing, having been raised by people that went through the Great Depression. But also, I think, we've all had past lives experiences of suffering in that way. Okay, with that said, I want to emphasize, and I went out today personally because we have chickens up here, and this is a prepper's dream, is to have chickens. A prepper's dream. So one of our chickens, which was the only rooster that we have now one, let's see, four, five. We had four female chickens. One is of egg laying age, and she gives us like an egg almost every day.
Well, like four
Four a day.
or something with them.
She gives us a lot of eggs. She's a good girl. The other three are a little bit young, and they were acquired as breeding chickens because we like the breed of that chicken. But the rooster was killed by a weasel slash skunk. Like the skunks that live around here are shaped like weasels. They're like long and thin and powerful diggers. They're not like the little frilly skunks you see on the East Coast. These are, heavy duty, ferocious, you don't mess with these. But anyway, they broke into our pen early in our career, and they killed a rooster and ate it. Took it off. There were just feathers left. So today I was able to buy another rooster, and for a prepper now I feel like, okay, man, if push comes to shove, I also bought 10 packages of Italian spaghetti because thank you, Sandra Cadwallader. So I there's a certain, what's the name of the brand? Rumo. It's an Italian. The Italians don't spray their wheat with pesticides, so we only buy Italian spaghetti. So it was on sale at Smith's, and I bought 10 packages. James likes angel hair. I like linguine. Daniela reluctantly likes, when after the day was over, we looked at our bag, that much money. See, it hasn't occurred to me that if you spend a lot of small lump, you buy this, you buy some fruit here, you buy some fruit there, you buy some this there, and it's not as big as spending. You're not spending $300. You're spending $30, $20, but it doesn't occur to me that it all adds up. I haven't reached that level of maturity.
You spelled Dumpty wrong.
What?
In your title, you spelled Dumpty.
I spelled Dumpty wrong. Okay, we'll so maybe some teacher somewhere will smack my wrist. Maybe one of my professors from Columbia will look in my file and shake their head and say, "We never liked that guy anyway." Spelling and being literate are two different things, in my opinion, and I've never been a good speller. But I think I'm pretty good at writing. Okay, so why am I going into this whole thing about prep? So we now have a rooster and an egg-laying hen and 3 wannabe egg-laying hens. So now I feel like if things go south in the world and the grocery stores shut down, we're okay. And we got some pasta, and we're growing our own vegetables. And James is hard at work creating a sweet potato raised bed. He believes that you could survive on sweet potatoes quite handily. So we're looking at these things. Also, I'm going to buy some extra gas for my well pump, because it works on a generator, and I want to make sure I have enough gas for that. Just me. I've been prepping for 40 years. Has it ever worked out for me? No. it's just like, okay, every time I move, I'm like, well, what am I going to do with all this old sardines here, man? Or what am I going to do? Oh, I got all this, I know you've been through this. A lot of people have told me that since the kind of veering into the Great Awakening, they have lost at least one food supply has gone south. They've stocked up on some kind of stuff, and after a while, it goes bad. Okay, with that said, I saw I saw some posts today. The people that I consider credible in terms of real hard information are Daniela Knows a Lot, war correspondent, Zachary Fisher for sure in terms of emotional things, uh, Sirius B, and there are a handful of others. I kind of reluctantly like Ariel. There are different sources. Big Daddy, of course, is great. So I just want to mention this, that the info, and that I analyze the information stream. I consider that my best forte, and I add to it question. I feel like I'm in contact with some variation of source. Like I stay connected to my soul's progress, my soul's journey, my soul's questions. And at first, when I read the article, you froze? Yeah. Um, yeah. So it's quite possible. The internet is going to be glitching and going down. That's part of it. Now, with all that said, I wanted to launch into the idea of being a prepper. We have solar panels here. We don't have to worry about the grid. We have our own water supply. We have a garden. Now we have a rooster, so that we could, if things got rough, we would be fine. I'm sure that if we were here and things got rough, I could trade some things for some goats. We would for sure get some goats and maybe some sheep as well. I mean, that's in the plan. We haven't really gotten there yet. We're still working on the house. We're finishing the house. But here I am sitting in my studio. It's raining right now, and I'm able to broadcast. This is all new to us. I've been broadcasting in the RV for the last 2 years. Now, when I saw the information this morning, I froze. My heart froze. Even though we're getting a rooster, even though we got all this money we got all this food that we can't afford. Technically, if I was still in the matrix, I'd be like freaked out. That's another thought that I had. No, I have no money. What am I going to do? What I'm going to do is buy a bunch of food. That's what I'm going to do, because I don't really believe in, it's everything will work out. That I no longer get frightened about money. I did when I almost lost my land. That freaked me out. But Diane was kind enough to help us out and give us a year, some time to reposition ourselves. But it was also a great elevation. And I was told at the time by my spiritual voices that I communicate with, that that going through this process with Diane was going to was bringing me to a higher level of functioning. That it was not to torture me. It was to help me grow. Now that I've set the stage, and I've laid bare the details of my own paranoia, my own having been born in 1955 and hearing about the Great Depression, even though I lived in Scarsdale, New York. I grew up thinking that I was poor, that I was like dirt poor, until I went out into the world and I realized we weren't really poor at all. We lived in a very nice in a very nice way. We weren't rich, but because my father would always complain about the finances and, this kind of thing. So I figured, as that we must be really poor. And then I went to Nashville and I hung out with people who were really poor and had a great time, but was able to kind of put things into some kind of perspective. Now that I've set the stage to tell you that I am an unabashed prepper, and I'm sure that I have to go to town again for another reason. Tomorrow, I'm sure I'm going to be buying cans of sardines now and other things. Now that I've said that, I want to share a paper from Guardian Daniel. He wrote a thing today saying that we are in the midst of extreme change, a changeover in the economy, a black swan of sorts, but major. And I also saw a clip. I don't know if I bookmarked it, but I saw a clip from a young man who was saying that this has never happened before, where the reserve currency is annihilated before our eyes. That's really what we're coming to, is that we're already there. The fiat, the fact that I had like $1,500 in my bank account. I went to town a few times, and now I'm down. I didn't buy anything major except for the refrigerator, but we had the money aside. We paid separate, I did spend $600 or something on a refrigerator, but I didn't really spend on anything of just regular food, and it's all gone basically. So this tells me fiat money is not worth much. Okay, it doesn't, and everyone is experiencing this. They call it a hidden tax. Okay. So I read this report from Guardian Daniel R about how everything is going down, how the internet is going to be completely annihilated and switched over to a more Starlink friendly, Space Force friendly type of internet and the like. But that when I read it, my prepper mind immediately said, "Oh shit, man!" And this is I've had this thought stream, hundreds of times in my life. Oh no, this weekend I have to travel. What am I going to do? I'm going to get stuck somewhere else. And I was just ruminating on the idea that things are about to go south. This is not, and I got the message, a clear message from my inner source that said, no, it's not going to happen fast. Anybody who tells you the EBS is about to happen, that XRP is about to go to the moon, that the redemption centers, and this is the big, I consider it a lie, because nobody has information about these redemption centers that I know of. And that the idea that you should have your everything ready. And by the way, do not respond to anyone who wants to sign you up for the quantum financial system. These are scammers. And do not jump. In my opinion, make sure you really, if this thing is true, and Mark Z and Sherry no longer broadcasting anymore, but these people have been lying through their teeth for years. They have probably hundreds of thousands of followers. I pride myself on telling the truth. I don't think it's going to go down that way. We're talking about the quantum financial system. We're talking about possibly all these data centers are being built so that they can keep track of our living resources. Everything will be on the blockchain. You'll be able to invest and it'll be 24/7. This, the stock market thing with 5 days a week ends at 4:30. That will not be in existence anymore. We live in a world. There's always somebody awake in the world. But the idea that this is going to come to an EBS thing next week, you're going to wake up, and I think that's total bullshit, made up stuff by people who want to get a lot of hits. Because I know myself, whenever I put the initials EBS on my title, I get a lot more hits. I don't like to do that. Hey, Anton, man, circle hooks, man. I'm going to sharpen my hook soon. I'm going to be ready for flounder fishing in Alabama. I can't go, Anton. I can't go to Alabama. I just, I'm heavily in a heavy duty relationship, man. And I just like the Southern women. I don't even want to know I don't want to hear a Southern drawl ever again. It's quite the roller coaster. Okay, yes, it is. But here's the thing, Anton. Here's the thing that I believe. It is not going down tomorrow. It is not going down next week. It is not like the EBS is imminent. If the EBS goes, I forgot to put in my title, scare event. This is going to be a scare event, but it's not going to be scary for us. We already went through our own scare event. It's going to be scary for the normies. They're not going to know what's going on. And that's by design. Only at the precipice will they find the will to change and to start waking up from their slave-like slumber. Oh, my God. Skywalker, man. Brian, you're the best. So the information that was downloaded into this system said, "Knucklehead,
Yeah. What is wrong with you? You're getting this all wrong.
They were saying, like, just chill, man. It's not going to go down like a ton of bricks. It's not going to fall on your head. It's not the sky is going to fall. The EBS is going. You're going to be called to the redemption center. We wish it would go down like that, but I don't believe it will. I believe that Trump said the end is not for everyone. Yeah, yeah. Well, I did a little video, and I said that the reason I think that the ending is not for everyone means that definitely a slave-like world. Yeah. In this video, I said the end is not for everyone means when people find out that people, that children are being eaten alive. And when they find out, in my opinion, and this is going to, send people into orbit. But in my opinion, I was religious, a religious yid for 25 years. And I know a lot about the Torah. I don't know anything about New Testament. Honestly, I think the New Testament was written by a bunch of, in the Council of Nicaea. They said we don't no more reincarnation. We're not allowed to believe in reincarnation. You think? So what my personal opinion is that in order to ascend, you have to let go of everything you hold dear to your heart. You have to kill your darlings, as they say in writing school. You have to let it all go. And the end is not for everyone. A lot of people will not be able to let go of their religion. Because in my opinion, and I've said this before, and I still have a few people listening to me, but and the algorithm is starting to roll in my favor. Thank you, Kevin. In my opinion, they're going to find out that the Torah, the New Testament, the Quran, and every aspect about the religions is bullshit, total bullshit, made up by the same creeps who are playing with your DNA. but that in order to ascend, you will have to let go of everything you thought you were about. So if you're heavily involved in a religious thing, and I know there are people that will not, so the end is not for everyone, it, in my opinion, means, and not to say that you can't ascend if you believe in, it's just that if you're waiting for a savior, you're not going to do the work. That's why I had to leave my community. I'm like, the vaccine is designed to kill you. They're like, well, I'm not worried about it because, when Mashiach comes, it'll all be okay. Well, yeah, when the med beds come, you will be, if you're still alive. And they were like, well, don't you believe in God? I'm like, that's not, in my opinion, that's not called believing in God. That's called believing in a fantasy. I mean, you might as well believe in a movie, but so the end is not for everyone means that in order to focus, ascend, you have to let go of everything that you held near and dear to you. And a lot of people will not be able to do it. They're not made for that. And I think one of the things that will keep people from really ascending is that they believe in their religion. And I mean, there's no question in my mind that the religions were created to keep us apart. I mean, it's as plain as daylight. So the end is not for everyone means not everyone will be able to ascend to the next level of understanding because of their belief system. All right, well, it says in Yiddishkeit, your number one belief, the thing that above all other beliefs, is that we believe in the coming of Mashiach. So you'll never ascend anyway. Right there, it's over for you. And if you believe that and you carry that to your grave, you'll carry it to your grave, because you will never understand that you have the ability to connect directly. Actually, you could do that in the context of real Jewish mysticism does teach you how to connect. But there are very few people that are able to. The instructions are opaque. They're not. Yeah, I always talk about the movie, the novel Siddhartha by Hermann Hesse. Who was the one that ascended? Not the one who was obedient to his masters and always had a teacher, but Siddhartha, who went off on his own, who had love affairs, who became a businessman. And I'm going to read, if I get time, I'm going to read a thing by Rudolf Steiner that really hits home on this. But okay, so my conclusion to all this ranting and raving is this. The world is about to change. There is going to be a kind of a black swan series of events. It may look like the earth is trembling. There are earthquakes now in California, that kind of thing. There are troops on the street. They are arresting people now in mass. The troops are arresting these creeps, the treasonous creeps. But that it's not like I have to rush to town and make sure that I have 5 meat chickens because we're going to be up here and no one's going to help us. The military will help you. It is not. This is not a time to panic. This is not a time to, like for me in 2020, I started getting out of my retirement fund. I started, for better or worse. I was like, I don't trust these people, and I'm glad I did. I got ripped off a lot. I lost money because I'm very naive and I'm very, I don't really value money. I don't value it the way that somebody who's wealthy values money. I'm just like, you want some money? Here, take it. It's just money. But that's not necessarily, that was not a good attitude. But anyway, that's besides the point. The point is that, yes, I took all my money out of my retirement fund. Yes, I bought a lot of gold and silver. Yes, I've already spent it and I bought a piece of land. This is all behind me. But what I'm saying is I'm going to now read with you these posts, but this is not a cause for panic. This is a cause for celebration. We are coming into the new age. It's going to look ugly, especially to normies, but you guys are the ones who are holding the fort. You're the ones who will be able to take a deep breath. You'll be able to put your arm around your friend and say, listen, man, I've been studying this for years. It's going to be okay. Right? Well, you lost some XRP. I lost a lot of XRP. I got scammed because I was scared. And that was, I think it's really, I blame Coinbase and I blame the SEC and I blame the whole way it went down with XRP, where they made XRP like if you own XRP, they're going to, it. But yes, I lost a lot, but this is just the way of the world. This is part of growing up. This is, and it could it have destroyed me? Yeah, if I had let it. But I don't let it. I still hope that the powers that be have kept track. It was just a one-time thing, and it's obvious that was stolen. And I did put a claim in with the FBI. So if anybody's out there, if Space Force is really out there, they can find my XRP and give it back to me. It's a no-brainer. But I don't want to get sidetracked. The point is like this. Do not panic. We've been discussing this for years. If you haven't invested in XRP, this is a great time to do it because it's really bottoming out. If you don't have any silver or gold and you still have a lot of money in the bank account, personally, if I had any cash in the bank, man, I would convert it to silver that I could hold in my hand immediately. And I'm not saying anyone should go crazy, but the main thing I'm saying here, and I'll be reading these posts, is this: stay calm. This is not going to happen overnight. It's going to be a process, and there will be many on and off ramps that you can access during this transitory time. So don't do what I did, which was assume like, holy shit, man, I only have 2 days. I better go down to town and buy a bunch of meat turkeys, right? Right, James? I assume it's you. Yeah. It's not like that. James was happy that I bought a bunch of pasta. We got 15 bags of Italian organic pasta in our but we're also we're preppers, but it is not in my opinion, and you're not going to, these people that talk about redemption centers and the scamming about you have to join the QFS now, get prepared now. This is the quantum financial system. It knows your DNA. You think they don't have, I saw this lady on Santa, the Santa program. And she was saying, like, make sure you have your identification ready. I'm like, what are you talking about? Getting people all freaked out about signing up for the QFS. You have to have your identification process. That period is over. That's the matrix. The matrix where you have to have your password and make sure you write it down because you can't change it ever. And if you don't have your password, that whole duality system, that whole freakazoid fear system of, oh my God, I don't have my password, I'll never be able to prove. That's going to be done. We're going to live in peace. We're going to have plenty of stuff. Whatever you need, you'll have replicators. You want whatever. You want some fresh flounder, man? You go to your replicator. Happy to have to call anytime, explain these truths of Bitcoin. What did Epstein? Yeah, forget about Bitcoin. Don't even go. I would never go. Bitcoin is a risk. Bitcoin doesn't do anything. Bitcoin is useless. So I don't know. The effing farmer, happy to have a call anytime to explain the truth of Bitcoin. Yep. Yeah, you're right. It's an Epstein correction. It's a cartel. Coin. Yeah. So I agree with you. An ATV and a fishing boat. Yeah. But if you don't have it now, Do you have time to do it? In my opinion, you do. Yes. But I've been telling you guys to leave the matrix for a couple of years already. And I've showed you by example how it's done. You find out, you cash in your 401k, you convert it all to silver and gold, and that's your bank. And then you buy, but I don't want to go into that. The main point here is this, that there is no reason to panic. If you haven't done it yet, maybe it's just not for you. If you've been thinking about it, I mean, I've been telling you for years, go do it. Leave the matrix. The matrix is crumbling. The matrix is dying before our eyes, but it is not going to happen, in my opinion, with lightning speed. And it is not going to be tied up with a little neat bow like, okay, the EBS is here. It's over. Yay. Well, I got a call from the redemption center and I'm cashing in all my dinars and I'm going to be rich now. It's not going to go down like that. That's for idiots. That's for idiots. Like this lady on Santa, she's like, I'm getting ready to go to the redemption center. I mean, what world do you live in that you think after what we've been through in the last 5 years, all of a sudden it's over? Go back to, you're all rich now. It's not going to go down like that. But it's also not going to go down like next Tuesday. You can't get any eggs in the grocery store. I mean, I think the best thing anyone could invest in at this point is a couple of chickens. I mean, that's just me, man. I mean, I was like all about it. I said, James, man, we need a rooster up here because if anything happens, and like I said, I don't think it's going to happen so fast. This is a process. There's no way humanity's going to go to sleep and wake up the next day. You just got a call from the redemption center. I'm going to go down with my empty suitcase and pick up my cash and buy a farm. And, it ain't going down like that. This is a messy process. We're talking about a financial collapse of an ancient, sadistic, child-eating system. It's going to go down in waves, and as long as you're aware of what's going on, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. Just like when you go down to the ocean and you see a big wave, somebody who doesn't know what they're doing is just like they're terrified and they get knocked over. But if you've been around waves since you're like me, I've been around waves since I could walk. I've been taught, and I know that you just dive right into the wave, and you get up on the other side, you brush the water out of your eyes, and you're fine. It's going to be easy peasy for us, man. This is like we're prepped for this. I'm just loving the view back here. You don't know how hard I had to work. This little studio has taken me years. Look at it out here. Let's see if you can see the sky. It's a nice place to live. I highly recommend if you can pull it off, man. Leave the matrix. Oh, what did I do? Okay, leave the matrix and come to the promised land. Okay, so now again, let me just say, fasten your seatbelts. Okay, take a deep breath. And think to yourself, just say 3 times, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. All right. So there's no panic. It's just this. I'm just giving you information that I'm presenting, and it's cause for celebration. It's not cause for panic. Okay. So here we go. Vegas is cloudy today. Yeah. ATV and a fishing boat. I like that, man. Ripple XRP is a scam. Oh yes, this guy is a yeah. Okay, yeah, yes. Let's F is for farmer. F is for what an idiot. Bitcoin. It's all about I mean, come on. All right, so yeah, Vegas. Let's see. yes, the horrific news about the children and other things will shock many horribly. Yes, Anton. But also the news that their religion is made up by satanic evil beings is also going to be a bit upsetting for most of humanity. You think? I that's what I think. And I was religious for 25 years, and I loved it. I loved being religious. I loved learning Torah. I loved spending all my time learning and learning Chassidus and mysticism and living the holidays. There's nothing more fun. There's nothing more fulfilling. But at the end of the day, will those people be able to ascend if they can't leave their belief system behind and come into the Great Awakening? And I don't know. So I think some will be able to, but most of the people that I talk to, it seems like they're just so fixated on the truth that they may not be able to ascend. Okay, so and that's what focus ascension. The end will not be for everyone. That's why the end, in my opinion, why the end will not be for everyone. So now let's read this together. And again, just this is fun, man. This is don't get freaked. Okay, let's do it. Okay, here we go. Let's get me over here. Sorry, it was such a long intro, but I just want to make sure that everyone is buckled up, that everyone has realized that it's okay, man. We're going through. Finally, this is good news. So, sovereignty decree, the structural deconstruction of oppressive network shields. Why the infrastructure of the legacy internet physically collapses within the transformation corridor. Now, Daniel R. is a brilliant writer. I love his writing. And this was posted, by the way, by Daniela Knows a Lot, which I think is a white hat operation. And so is this. Except once in a while he talks about Jesus. And I don't know, people have issues. There's no J in Hebrew. Come on, man. Or Yahweh, there's no W in Hebrew either. So we know God's name. We know it's Yahweh. It's like, what are you talking about? How could it be God's name if there's no W in Hebrew? I mean, how could that be? It's like, well, we figured it out. Our smart little prophets. Anyway, the unstoppable expiration of centralized server controlled via the deep state, public international law failure of civilian surveillance software, and the irreversible migration of allied communication rails into the quantum era. Dun, dun, dun. Doesn't that feel good, man? The quantum era, where men are men and sheep are no. Okay. Allied Enforcement Protocol. I have issues. This is no ordinary moment. This is no ordinary moment. This is a moment of joy for us. This is not another quiet day within the legacy system. Beneath the surface, something is in motion. And those who can feel the pressure already understand. The silence is not empty. The silence is preparation. The internet was once presented to the world as freedom, a place where people can connect, learn, speak, build, trade, create, and share information without borders. It was supposed to become the bridge between humanity and the future. It was supposed to give people access, knowledge, and power. But over time, something changed. The same network that was promised as freedom became a system of control. I know, because I lost 14 YouTube channels. I lost my job because it wasn't politically correct not to get vaccinated. The same network that was promised as freedom became a system of control. Dame's digital roads that connected people became channels of surveillance, manipulation, censorship, scams, identity theft, financial tracking, and silent restriction. What was once open became filtered, and what was once simple became monitored. What was once built for communication became a battlefield for data, influence, and control. Let's see if this will. I have to go back. Okay. Sorry about that. This is this is because we're still on the old internet. Where did that go? Okay, over here. Okay, let's go to the next page. All right, this is what I have to do. I have to do this for the songs too. Okay, page 2. It's raining here, and I can hear the raindrops falling on the ceiling, on the roof that I built. It's so nice, man, to be in like a little dry space. Can you imagine after 2 years living on the desert, we have a place where we can stay dry in the rain that's not in the RV? The old internet is cracking, not because the people failed, not because technology failed, but because the foundation was never strong enough to carry the future that is coming. The old internet, I just felt a drop of water, was built on fragile trust, passwords that can be stolen, emails that can be faked, accounts that can be hacked, platforms that can be controlled, data that can be sold, identities that can be duplicated, financial access that can be blocked, voices that can be silenced, information that can be buried under noise. For years, people were told this was normal to be tracked, normal to be hacked, normal to lose access, normal to be censored, normal to be manipulated by algorithms, normal to live inside systems that collect everything and explain nada, nothing. But nothing about this is normal. A digital world built on weakness cannot protect a free people. A network filled with backdoors cannot support a new financial era. A system controlled by gatekeepers cannot become the foundation of true independence. A future of secure identity, protected access, quantum safe systems, and clean financial movement cannot be built on broken digital rails. This is why the cracks are appearing. You can see them in the outages. You can see them in the cyber attacks. You can see them in the scams. You can see them in the data leaks. You can see them in the censorship, bastards. You can see them in the financial blocks, the scams. You can see them every time people lose access to what should belong to them. These are not random signs. They are the symptoms of an old structure reaching its limit. We understand that the next era cannot depend on the old internet. The next era requires a new foundation, one built on security, verified identity, quantum safe protection, clean access, stronger communication, and systems designed to protect the people instead of controlling them. All right, let's go to page 3. And this is just the internet. This is the same thing goes for the banks, but we're just right now we're focusing on the internet. Let's see if I can get this. Okay, here we go. Okay, we'll go to this. Share this. Okay, here's the last. We're coming to the end of this. Okay, the old internet was built for a different world. This is it. The new internet must be built for what comes next. A world where identity cannot be easily stolen. A world where communication is protected. A world where financial systems can move safely. A world where people are not trapped behind centralized gates. A world where access is not used as a weapon. You don't have your password? What? your code, your number code, your 15 letter, a world where technology serves humanity instead of harvesting it. The transition will not be simple. Here's the key. Where old systems crack, the noise becomes louder. When control weakens, the gatekeepers become more aggressive. When a new structure approaches, the old one tries to convince the people that nothing else is possible. The internet's dying. Oh no, Mr. Hans, please, no. But something else is possible. A cleaner network is possible. A safer digital future is possible. A protected internet is possible. A system built for truth, access, security, and freedom is possible. The cracks are not the end. They are the warning. They show us that the old structures cannot carry the weight of the new world. They show us why preparation matters. They show us why digital security matters. They show us why the quantum financial system, protected access, and quantum safe infrastructures are not just ideas. They are necessary pieces of what comes next. Here's the key, guys. Here is what I introduced. Stay calm. Stay alert. Stay connected to official sources. Do not panic when old systems quake. Do not confuse temporary instability with failure. Sometimes the cracking of the old structures is the first sign that the new foundation is being prepared. The old internet is cracking. A new network is coming. And when the system finally sees the difference, many will understand why the old rails had to be replaced before the people could truly move forward. All good news, but remember, stay calm. It's going down. The bad boys are going down finally, but we need to just stay calm. Okay? I inspired you to move out of New Jersey to South Carolina. No more mortgages, working on my own home, and feeling free for the first time. I'm so happy, Kevin. God bless you, man. I mean, there's no reason to wait. There's no reason to wait. And now it's going to be in your face. So, but still, you have time. Do what you love to do. Yeah, religion. I mean, I hate to say it. But listen, I raised my boy to be. He rebelled against to some degree. He's kind of into the social aspects of it. He likes the community, but he's not. He decided a long time ago, like I decided, that his plant ally, the ally of choice is psychedelic mushrooms. So if you want, my personal opinion, if you want to connect directly to the other world, even better, DMT. And I'm not a medical advisor. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not an official anything. But if you really want to see God, in my opinion, I mean, the way I saw God, or what you would call God, is by experiencing 5-methoxy DMT. I understood through the experience that everything is under control, and they're not waiting for me to fix it. They don't need me. It's all together. Everything is good. Come on, XRP. Yes. Yeah, XRP. That's not the point, but that's not the point. Yes, XRP will be, but that's where you, because the reason I get upset about that, and Nabas, I'm not negating you, but I know a lot of people, including myself, feel this way. Come on, XRP, let's go already. However, the way wealth is going to be experienced in the future, the way we want to experience that should be, oh God, I'll be rich. I'll be able to do whatever I want. I'll be able to buy, lumber that's not curved. I'll be able to come up with I'll be able to buy a shipload of plywood so I can finish my house already. It's not going to be like that because money is not scarce in actuality. We're just going to find out. So, you're thinking, but that world is going anyway. Okay, so yeah, I'm glad somebody actually left the matrix. All right, let's go to the rest of this thought stream, but stay calm. That's the key here. Okay, let's see where am I? Why is it not responding? I can't touch it. Okay, let me go back. Let's go back. Stop sharing. All right, let me go back to this. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Now, all right. Let's go here and then we'll go here. Okay, we're coming to this. I'm listening to the delightful sound of rain because we desperately need rain up here. The chemtrails have lessened, and I think we're going to experience like kind of regular weather. Okay, this is over 1 million. Now, I don't know if it's true, but it sounds true to me. Over 1 million military personnel have been deployed nationwide across the United States as part of a mass arrest operation. I believe this is happening. That's it doesn't seem so weird to me. Breaking, President Trump is taking control of the California National Guard and deploying 2,000 troops to Los Angeles. Okay, here's the deep state. America is burning as more than 100 large wildfires rage out of control. That's their false flag. That's the creepazoids desperate to try to rearrange life. I'm going to get back to this Rudolf Steiner. Breaking, mosque in Dublin burned to the ground. The Irish are not happy about the Muslims, and rightfully so. Donald Trump has given the green light. Global military alliance underway. Global military alliance to take over major fake news media and make mass arrests. Today, the emergency broadcast system will be acted worldwide. I don't believe that, but it's nice that whoever wrote this wants you to believe that. Okay, the timeline has shifted. This Danielle knows a lot. This is a direct, in my opinion, a white hat information source. The timeline has shifted and is now set. On guard, prepare battle stations, rear guard. Who's watching the watchers now? Nothing can stop what is coming. When does a bird sing? How many birds? How many cages were set up? The show is only beginning. Here's the key point. The narrative must be set. There's only a little more to this, but I think it's important that we get the whole message. So let's go to it. Right. The stage. All right, let's go back. Here and here. Okay. The narrative must be set. The stage must be set. The public must understand nothing can stop what will happen next. But do not, in my opinion, do not think it's going to be over next week. Or Kim Clement says it's going to be over on March 5th. I mean, like, yeah. What happened? Yeah. See what you want me to. Okay, I'm being told that I'm going on. Okay, so let's just go to one more thing. There was the fires, the troops, the internet going down. There was one other thing. Iraq is moving. SEC is moving. Money is moving. Ripple, yes, indeed. The deep state can no longer control the executive branch. This is a great thing. I see things appear to be going our way this afternoon. Breaking, SEC to unveil new crypto regulation plans as the Clarity Act faces delay in the Senate. So they're just going to do it anyway. Okay, so that's it. I'm just going to summarize because for the sake of time, this Rudolf Steiner post, which is absolutely brilliant. And I suggest you subscribe to my X channel, which is eWebstar13, and look at this post because it is stunning. It is a stunning piece. He who tries to withdraw from the sacred task of this earth and escape into another world may be sure that he never reaches his goal. The spiritual world is not a refuge for those who feel too elevated for ordinary life. It is the hidden source of ordinary life. So let me summarize this post. What Rudolf Steiner is saying, you can sit on your meditation mat, you can levitate all over the room, you can transcend, you can live in a cave, you can do all this stuff. It means nothing if you don't bring it down. And that's the whole point. And it's simple. And then he also likes the idea of living with nature, and so do I. Okay, so that's really it. Let's stop sharing. Let me remind people that if you are interested in health benefits, extraordinary health benefits, please call Dr. Stacy. Get the X39, reset your stem cells, stimulate your stem cell production. You can have hair like you did when you were a teenager. Whatever you want. You don't have to suffer. You don't have to take naps. You can hang out with beautiful women if you want to, or whatever you want to do, man. You just need to have a little bit of health, right? And maybe brush your teeth once in a while, right, baby? Yeah. She. Okay. So yeah, so that's it, man. I mean, just check in with Dr. Stacy, get the X2O machine. I think it's an incredible investment in incredible health, because it puts 6 frequencies of light directly into your body. You drink light. It's transformative. It's definitely changed my life. Okay, with that said, now I'm going to go into, let me just remind everyone to, if you haven't so far done it, please join the Republic. There's a little like bars up there, and you press it, and then you can volunteer. I suggest you volunteer locally, get involved in resettling the government, the real government that once existed on our planet. If you're really interested in humanitarian projects, and you don't want to listen to these kookazoids who just take an empty suitcase down to the redemption center and all this other bullshit. If you really want interested in humanitarian projects, reach out to the military. This website, this email, humanitarian project, military outreach at Republic for the United States of America.org. And put in the subject line Ellie's Warriors. They will check you out. They will help you out. They will. I applied for humanitarian aid, but I didn't do it at a redemption center, and I didn't get an email that said you must join the quantum financial, any of that nonsense. All right. So with that said, I'm going to attempt to play my tune. Let's see. Islam is a threat to this wonderful country. Are you from yeah, but it's not going to be for long, because things are going to be, we're not going to be operating. It's going to be a different system, in my opinion, that things are going to get, Islam is a threat. Yeah. But Nivas, you're worrying about stuff that, this channel may not be the right place for you. Okay. Yeah. Is that Matt Myers? Yeah, it's good. It's a great time to buy XRP. If I had money, I would be investing in XRP, silver, gold, XLM, HBAR, all the ISO 222 coins. Fortunately, I already invested something into it. I had put a little money. I don't have much extra. Now I'm investing into chickens, goats, probably fences. Those are investments too, and those are important investments. Okay, now if I'm going to play this tune, if you don't hear anything, tell me right away, because yesterday you told me that you couldn't hear anything. It was too late. I was already through the song, but let's enjoy this tune together. I don't play the video because I want you to have your own thoughts, not pictures from my people. Okay, I like the videos, but we're coming into a world where you will communicate directly with the creator, and the creator doesn't always show things as movies. Sometimes he or it or the force just communicates with you directly, whatever that means for you. Okay, so let's try it.
Living in the city, I was paying down my bills. One flat tire and the whole thing went to hell. Credit cards for groceries, I'm deep in debt again. It's time to split this scene, walk with you, my friend. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. They stole our money, but they couldn't stop the plan. Let's go together, playing with the band. Leaving the matrix, we're heading for the promised land. Stopped paying taxes, your insurance I don't need. The medicines are killing us, hospitals grow like weeds. Moved into paradise, I don't need no gassy cars. Fake news, endless wars, a satanic legal bar. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. They stole our money, but they couldn't stop the plan. Let's go together, playing with the band. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. My friends all tell me I lost control. Left my wife and job just to run down rabbit holes. But I can tell you one thing about my fall. Where we go one, we go all. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. They stole our money, but they couldn't stop the plan. Let's go together, playing with the band. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. Leaving the matrix, we're heading for the promised land.
Anyway, thanks for putting up with me for the time being, and we will be back, God willing. It may be a little bit tricky. We may have to, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but we'll try. Remember, we don't broadcast on Friday. Thanks for your support. The algorithm is starting to seems to be favoring me, and I'm hoping I'm only 450,000. I'm only 450,000 hits away from being monetized on X. How about that? Instead of 3 million. I mean, like, at least there's like some kind of hope. I love that mountain, right? But yeah. So yeah, maybe I'll even get paid for doing this someday. Imagine that. At any rate, use the force, stay calm. Things are going to get crazy, but it's not going to happen so fast. I don't care what any of these podcasters say. I don't believe it. I don't believe it's going down that way. And it's a process. This is a process humanity has to wake up. We've been slaves a little too long, and it's time. You're not going to splash water in someone's face and expect them to wake up. That's not the way to wake someone up. All right. Anyway, may the force be with you. May you realize that you are the force. May source be with you. Keep creating. That's your strength. No other. That's why all these galactic entities want to use our DNA and want to become partners with our substance, because we can communicate directly with the higher source, and we have nice emotions and thoughts, and we're nice. We're nice, unlike some of these creepazoid parasites. Forgot you are an X. Yeah, man. Okay, so anyway, let's get out there with a big smile on our face. God willing, we'll see you tomorrow night. And rock.